Halloween party, Monday, October 31st, 7 p.m. in the community room. And they're having Mass. They all serve Mass over there. 10 a.m. on October 21st, Father Joseph Zalaka is doing the job. He's a preacher over at the Holy Trinity Church. I should say, I really shouldn't say preacher. He is the minister, but in some cases you might call him the leader. The senior citizens have a group called the Beaver Club. They meet at the Beaver Club, and they're called the United Senior Citizens. And it's composed of leaders in the senior world, and anybody can join it. And it's got they get together. They have 100 members who show up for their meetings, and they have a great time. They have a dinner by the Beaver Tail Catering, and usually it's a really great dinner too. It has all kinds of nice things. I wanted to say over there, the calling committee for the Thanksgiving luncheon will be Hilliker, Josie Christopher does a lot for cancer of the breast, I might add. She's big on that. Happy birthday to Mickey Kalicia and Norman St. George. You know, Mr. St. George does the job over there. He's the president, Charles. He's been the president of everything for years, decades. He's an active gentleman. They're having a luncheon for their Thanksgiving celebration on November 14th. Roast turkey, of course, with all the trimmings. November meeting members should bring $5 for the December Christmas luncheon. Okay, don't forget that. And hey, any senior can join this group. The group does really a great job. And I wanted to tell you, just get in touch with St. George. Charles St. George, if you want to join the United Senior Citizens. Bingo was played. Okay. Oh, I just got the highlight there. They say the news is over. I don't care how much more news you've got, and I do have more. You're finished. We have time. We have now got the public service announcement, and then we'll have Doc on, who's going to talk about butterflies and bluebirds. Here you go.
All right, guys, we gotta be smarter about what we bite on, okay? I want everyone to go outside. We're gonna run Red Rover on 3.
What about you, Tony?
I'm gonna run around in circles, flap my arms, and make engine noises like this.
When it comes to playing, we kids are the pros.
We're eating right, too.
We fuel up
To play 60!
Your school doesn't have a program? Be a leader. Start one.
Click today and join the movement.
There you go. Here he is, Doc. John Hamels, you're on.
Good morning, Reed. Good morning, Mary Ann. How are you today?
Good morning.
Good. Well, Reed, before we start what I want to talk about, did you know whose birthday it is in the studio today? It's not mine.
That's Don Zen?
Nope. The man that makes it all happen, the magician behind the Jeff Zook, is his birthday. It was yesterday,
happy birthday,
actually.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Jeff.
Yeah.
I didn't know. You didn't tell me.
He told me. You gotta get out back with the little people once in a while. Well, did you notice I'm wearing my pink shirt today? It's for a good reason. As many of you may know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I think I told you a couple weeks ago we played, Bill and I, my partner, we played up in Buffalo for the Strides Against Breast Cancer. And folks, if you want to get involved here in Chautauqua County, I was just checking the newspaper, and this Sunday, 10 o'clock, JCC, they are putting together a walk, and they're expecting 800 people. Sounds like a lot of people. In Buffalo, it was 10,000.
One thing you can do if you want to chime in also.
Sure.
Put one of those pink bulbs in your porch light. That really brings people aware. They see a pink bulb. They wonder what it is when they go by, you know. And all the clubs and fire departments and everybody are having these pink bulbs. And there you go. You're on again.
All right, I'm back. All right. Well, I wanted to tell you a kind of a sad story about this whole situation. Without naming names and locations, my wife came home the other day and was telling me about a story about a woman whose mother, who's only 54 years old, is suffering now from bone cancer. And because 3 years ago she discovered a lump in her breast, and evidently she was afraid to go to the doctor or whatever and let it go. You know, this is the year 2011, folks, And there is no reason why anybody should go undiagnosed for breast cancer today. It's something that's treatable and curable to some degree, and there's still obviously more research to go on this. But my mom is, and I won't say how old is, because if she ever were to see this, she'd really hit me hard. But my mom is a 38-year survivor of breast cancer, and she's been doing well. For those of you that are out there and you have this concern, go see your doctor tomorrow or today or whenever. Get it done. Switching gears here a little bit, I had the awesome opportunity the last week or so to meet all of the RSVP volunteers that I was telling you about that we were going to see. There's over 900 of them, and Bill and I played for the folks down at the Squire. It's a new facility in Jamestown. It's a renovated church down on Prendergast and 4th, and the folks down there were just absolutely awesome. And then we just played for them again, the Northern crew up at the Dunkirk Moose. But I got to tell you, when you stand there and they're thanking us for playing for them, and it was our honor to entertain them. 40 years in the business, and to see how many folks came out. There was hundreds of them, and I forgot how many thousands of hours of volunteer work that they provide our county, and they figured it out. It was like a couple $1 million worth of services free to all of our agencies. And I know you're going to talk about this here in a little bit, but we're getting bushwhacked with all of our not-for-profits and agencies that serve all of us every day. And so thank goodness for the volunteers. Congratulations to all of you. Many of them were serving well over 23 years. Retired Senior Volunteer Program, right. Well, Mary Ann can tell you more about that better than I can. But anyways, well done, everybody. And if you have any interest in that, maybe Mary Ann can tell you how to get a hold of the program. But Debbie Bazil and all the folks over there, well done to all of you. Back to you, Reed.
Your point of having the mastectomy, not the mastectomy, that's what they do in some cases when it's very serious, when you have breast cancer. But it is very important to have it checked out if you get a bump, a lump, or feel something's wrong, because if you catch it early, it's highly curable if you catch it very early. They don't even have to do the mastectomy, whereby they remove the breast or the infected part of the breast. Usually at the beginning they do what they call lumpectomy. They just go in and take the little bit of cancer out, and that's that. You're good for 35 years. If you let it go, though, you're dead meat, because when it gets to a certain point, there is no helping you. It spreads to everything. And I will say the same for colon cancer, which kills a lot of people, almost as many. Or maybe even more in this country, because a lot of men get it as well, and they're pretty much exempt from breast cancer, although they do get it, but it's very rare. The colonoscopy is a very important tool. You go to your doctor and you say, I need a colonoscopy. I haven't had one for 3 to 5 years. They take a tube and they just run it in. You're under anesthetic of sorts, although you can still see it, but you just lose memory of how long it took. And there's no pain, no hassle, nothing, no stress involved with it. It's a very simple procedure, but it catches cancer early in many cases, most cases. And if they catch the colon cancer at the initial stage, again, it's almost 100% curable. The second stage, you're in trouble. You're not going to be cured in most cases. Third stage, you might as well make sure you have a good cemetery plot. So go down there early. If you, even if you feel no pain, no symptoms or anything of colon problems, have it done. And if you have lumps, which they'll take out, which are precancerous, they pick off these little polyps. And these polyps are dangerous, so they'll take them out and they check them out, make sure you're okay. And if you have a bunch of polyps, 3 years, especially if you're over 50. They've set, what used to be 40, now they think you should wait until you're 50, but I'm not sure of that even, before you start having the colonoscopy every 5 years.
Well, I can help you with that.
Okay, we got some help here with that. Well, you're on then. What's up? Maryannspanospt2. She needs no introduction. She's been here forever now in the Office of the Aging, and she's going to be here until they start just killing everybody off in the county level. At any rate, you're on.
Well, I'm so glad you started the conversation about cancer of all sorts. Of course, Office for the Aging is very much involved in cancer services as a partner in Chautauqua County. Our nurse educator, Allison Espin, involved not only with the health department, but a coalition of organizations, the Health Network, Chautauqua County Health Network, and others who work every day to bring awareness to cancer treatment and to cancer screening. And there is no one in the county who should go without cancer screening. You know that, Reed, with the healthcare reform, many of these cancer screenings for colon and breast are free under Medicare. You no longer have to pay any copay for breast cancer screening, for colon cancer screening, or prostate cancer screening. And we also are very lucky in this county to have, for people who are under 65 and maybe don't have insurance or are underinsured, there is the Cancer Services Coalition, which can help you get a screening at little or no cost. So it's very important that everybody gets screened. I myself have colon cancer in my family. So when you have colon cancer or breast cancer in your family, it's often recommended that you start screenings earlier. I had my first colonoscopy at 39, and the second one actually 2 years ago at 40.
No. At what?
At 45, 44.
Now that's 6 years. You're supposed to go back every 3 years.
No, well, it's 5 years to begin with.
Okay, they didn't find
if
any
you
polyps.
don't find anything. Actually, this year I have to go back in 3 years. It really depends on the polyp. My sister and I both had polyps. Mine was a type of polyp that was precancerous, so I have to go back in 3 years. And she had the type that they're only recommending her go back again in 5 years. So it really depends on the type of polyp. But I have to say the screening for the colonoscopy screening, if you've had one done, the one I had done first, the prep was not as nice as it is today, and they are getting better at the preparation for these tests, so they are very simple to do. They are not, the preparation for them is not as intensive as it was.
Onerous.
Yeah, and so they have gotten better at all these screenings, but they've also gotten better at the preparation to make it easier on the patient. So really, there's nothing to fear. Breast cancer, I can't say enough of. One of my friends is walking tomorrow for the Zonta Club of Jamestown. And that's Rosie Papalea with one of your counterparts at Cable 8 News. But breast cancer has taken many of our friends. And I had a scare about 6 months ago. I had some blood coming from one of my breasts, which I guess is a cardinal sign of a problem. I was fortunate that it was nothing. I'm going back for a repeat mammogram in a few weeks. They recommended that I just come for a 6-month follow-up. But it's really, really important to have those mammograms every year. They're painless. They take seconds. And to keep examining yourself every month. It can be done easily in the shower if you don't know how to do it. Our nurses, both at Office for the Aging and at the Health Department, are happy to, talk you through it, tell you what to look for. But early detection is the key, and things are getting better and better, so that I think they have good treatments even if you have later stage, both breast cancer and colon cancer. But of course, it's so much easier on you and to cure it if you can catch it early. And so please don't miss those annual screenings.
Don't forget, we'll throw in the screening for the cervical cancer, which is extremely deadly. That goes along with your mammogram. In many cases, doctor will schedule you for both.
Yeah, you go for your annual gynecological checkup, and they do the cervical cancer screening. But I want to remind all seniors, these are free, free. You don't pay any copay at the doctor's office anymore. That has been eliminated to try to get more women to go for these screenings. And just because you're 80 years old doesn't mean you can't get colon cancer, breast cancer, cervical cancer. So you need to keep going for these screenings. You have a lot of, life ahead of you. There's no reason for something that's preventable to not get screened.
Sure, and if you're a heavy smoker, have
Yep.
that lung x-ray.
Well, talk with your doctor and
Yeah.
find out what are the appropriate screenings for you and get them done.
Okay, well, it's a lifesaver.
Yeah.
And if you do have it in your family, you, as Marianne had pointed out, you were particularly at risk. There's about 4 times